Okay, welcome back to Talking with Barb. We're talking about her and her epilepsy. Um, this segment, we're going to focus on the epilepsy clinic and the specter that's looming in front of her of brain surgery yet again. Um, okay, let's start with the epilepsy clinic. Where is it? What do they do? How do they do it? And why? Hello? Too much?
No.
Well, let's just start with, okay, where is the epilepsy clinic located?
It's in London at University Hospital.
And what do they do at the epilepsy clinic?
Well, basically what they do is you go in for a series of testing so that they can monitor exactly where your seizures are coming from, what area of the brain they're coming from, and the intensity of the seizures. Make sure that they know the exact spot where they're coming from and the type of seizures that you're having, and that way they get a good, clear idea of exactly what they're dealing with. So what they basically do is they hook you up to what they call subdural electrodes. First they do electrodes on the external scalp. So basically you have them glued onto your scalp, and then you have EEG leads that come off each subdural that go to a battery pack that you wear at your waist. And then while you're at your bed, you're attached to a computer at the bed that goes to the computer room. And you can kind of get up from the bed and walk around while you're in the room, so you can go to the bathroom and to the table to eat and such. If you want to leave the room, you have a battery pack, so they can unhook you and you can leave the room. Say to go downstairs to the hospital, gift store, or Tim Hortons, or whatnot. But other than that, you're on a continuous 24-hour monitoring of your seizure activity, your brain activity. And what they do basically is they take you off your medications very, very slowly, a little bit at a time. They don't want to take you off too quickly, of course. And as they take you off your medications and decrease them, your seizure activity, of course, will increase, and they get a better seizure rate and seizure activity, so they can get more readings from you.
What kind of tests do they do to measure your seizures?
Well, that's basically how they get the readings. That's like a continual EEG reading. So it's a continuous EEG is what they're getting that way. Now, while you're there, I guess if they wanted to, I don't think they wouldn't be able to put you into any other kind of machine because of the leads being hooked up. But they do...
Do they like flash lights in front of you?
That is one of the tests that they do have up there. They have an EEG test where you sit in front of a computer screen with the EEG leads attached to you, and they start flashing a series of lights at you very, very rapidly, and it increases and it increases and it increases very quickly. And you're forced to look at it, and you're not allowed to move. And they watch the brain patterns to see what's going on. That is one test that they do. Of course, you're always getting regular EEGs done, as well as CAT scans and sometimes MRIs as well. There's also neuropsychologists that you work up with there as well that do testing, and social workers. They have a whole team, a full spectrum, a medical field out there that you work with. It's an amazing facility. It's a research hospital, so it's I believe, one of two research hospitals for epilepsy in Canada. So it's an amazing place to have access to, and they have incredible neurologists and doctors and neurosurgeons and staff in every field up there that I have access to. And typically when you're up there in the clinic, you are there anywhere from a week to 3 weeks, long enough so that they can get enough of information and enough reading to see exactly where the seizures are coming from, and for the neurologists to get, know exactly where the focal points are, and if they can't get a clear enough or a good enough reading, what happened to me the last time, they needed to do a internal subdurals, which was simply meaning they had to take me into surgery, and they actually lifted the scalp up and put the electrodes onto the surface of the brain instead of just on the scalp.
Sounds positively ghastly.
Well, it just gives them a much easier or a much better reading because the electrodes are sitting right on the surface of the brain. So
now, is all this done as a prelude to surgery, or to see if surgery is a viable option?
Yes, I mean most of the time. Most of the patients, as far as I'm aware of, that are in the clinic are patients that are hard to control, or patients that are, difficult cases, so to speak, or patients that have been on several medications or have tried several medications that haven't been able to get control. Maybe they've had surgery before and it hasn't helped them a whole lot, or just there's a number of different scenarios, but maybe they've been to 3 or 4 different neurologists and they haven't had any success, so they're referred up to University Hospital, and then they'll go to the epilepsy clinic and go there for a couple of weeks.
Now, in the last segment, you spoke briefly that surgery was an option that you were seriously considering. What is, first of all, why, and what is the hope in it? Like, will this surgery, if you have it, eliminate all of your seizures?
With my case, my neurologists have told me very clearly from the very beginning that I'm probably one of the most difficult cases they've ever dealt with in Canada, or seen in Canada. And I'm quite special. They've never really quite dealt with a case of epilepsy like mine. Being that normally with epilepsy, there's generally one focal point or one spot or region in the brain where seizures come from. Unfortunately, in my case, I have 2 focal points. So I have seizures coming from the temporal lobe as well as the frontal lobe. So what's been going on is I've been having seizures jumping back and forth both from here and from here. And some speculation as to possibly maybe from over in this lobe as well. So that's the reason why medication, it's been so hard to control my case with the medication. Now, as far as surgery goes, normally with epilepsy surgery, what would happen is you would just go in, find where the focal point is, and take that little piece that's causing the problem, find it and take it out, remove it. And then, hopefully, that solves the problem, because you've removed the little spot where the nerves are misfiring. In my case, obviously, because there's a couple of spots that are misfiring, as my neurologist has explained to me, they can't go in and take a spot out here and a spot out here. It's just not possible. So they have to go for one spot, the spot that's most safe. Safe meaning the area that's going to least affect me. Speech-wise, motor-wise, memory-wise, personality-wise, etc. So obviously with just one piece being removed, it's still going to leave that other area there that's causing seizures. So my neurologist has told me that with the surgery being done, it will greatly reduce my seizures, probably by about 30 to 40% maximum.
What are the risks involved?
The risks involved, actually, it's come a long, long way from where it used to be. And I think from the research that we've done, I think the risks are about 3%.
Of what?
For death and infection and all that nasty stuff. So if you think about it, that's that's not too bad. I mean, you could go in and have ingrown toenail surgery done and get an infection. I mean, that's the way I look at it. There's always going to be a risk. The greatest risk, of course, is figuring out and mapping properly the area so that they know exactly the right spot that they want to go in, and taking that exact spot out so that they don't remove something important. Like I was mentioning before, like something that would really affect my speech or my motor skills or my memory. Any of those big, the big kind of things that you need. Because you don't want to come out, wake up, and kind of
be like Jack Nicholson near the end of the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, like come out a completely different person, and that is one of my bigger fears. I mean, obviously, but you kind of have to weigh everything, and I have a tremendous amount of faith and trust in this hospital and in the epilepsy clinic, in the doctors, the neurologists, the neurosurgeons, everybody, the staff that works there, that it's kind of balancing everything out this way more than this way, like, of course I'm scared. I'm scared, of course. I'm terrified. But I got a life to live. I'm getting married in a few months, and I want to have kids, and I got a lot of living left to do. I can't. You got to weigh it out. I don't want to. I'm the kind of person that if I can see a ray of light and a chance, I'm going to go for it if it's going to make it better. I am afraid, but I'm not afraid, because I've gone through some pretty big challenges in my life already, and This is just one more step that I think I have to take. I think I'm a fool if I don't. I mean, my biggest fear is not doing it and letting them get worse and worse, because I'm running out of medications and combinations of medications, and the fact that I take 18 pills now a day that don't do me any good, it's not good for my body. The side effects are no good for me. And if the pills aren't doing me any good and I'm still having all these seizures, why not go for the surgery and take a shot at it? I mean, I'm not going to know if I don't do it. That's kind of my attitude, I guess.
Well, thanks, Barb. And I'm sure that everybody listening will wish you all the best of luck.